Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome St. Louis native and World War II veteran, Technical Sergeant Charles Rohde. Now, please welcome retired Navy Petty Officer General Wilson as he performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The true heroes of this wonderful nation on this Veterans Day. And you saw him on the way in, 92 years young, from the greatest generation. His name, Charles Rohde. He saw action in Normandy, Central Europe, World War II. Met the team here in St. Louis yesterday and presented Brian Elliott with a mask that he will wear tonight. 5 bronze battle stars from the U.S. Army. He won the Bronze Star Medal, the 4th highest individual military honor for his heroic efforts on D-Day. And France awarded Mr. Rohde with the Legion of Honor, the country's highest honor. And it's all about remembrance and respect and gratitude here on Veterans Day. As you see the mask and the captain of the Blues, David Backes, with Technical Sergeant Charles Rohde. Let's take a look at tonight's starting goaltenders, thanks to Honda. Michael Neuvert has their only regulation win. It was in San Jose earlier this season. He had 47 saves against Edmonton in a losing cause on Friday night. And Brian Elliott, their team defense is number 3. His numbers are rock solid. He was a 2-1 loser here against Nashville on Saturday night. John Forslund, Pierre Maguire inside the glass. Sit back and enjoy this one from Scott Trade Center in St. Louis. Tyler Myers paired on defense with Josh Georges. To the center zone as the Blues get started with Paul Stastny, David Backes, and Alex Steen. Cody McCormick. Former Blue Chris Stewart goes high over the top of Brian Elliott. Backes now hands it off to Paul Stastny. And away is Alex Steen, and the Blues get it deep. What do you expect tonight, Pierre?
I expect Buffalo's going to play tight early on. If they don't, they're in trouble.
Now the puck is gathered in by Chris Stewart, playing his first game against his former club here tonight. Marcus Foligno losing control. Backus gets chased for St. Louis. As now Chris Stewart takes over for the Sabres, and he'll get it deep. They're coming off a loss against Pittsburgh on Saturday night, 6-1 at home. Same night that St. Louis lost here against Nashville, 2-1. But the Blues have won 7 of their last 8. Jaden Schwartz hits that Buffalo line. He'll go deep. Zadorov back on defense, pressured by Schwartz, and now Bouwmeester's shot handled here by Michael Neuvert, and no further play.
John, this is one of the reasons why Buffalo gets in trouble. The easiest play in the rink is for Tyler Ennis, number 63. You'll see they go back, hard forecheck. Watch where Tyler Ennis is. He's on the boards. He's got to be aware of where that puck's coming out to the high slot to Carl Gunnarsson. That's just not a good job by Tyler Ennis at all.
This high-flying line right now responsible for 60% of the goal scoring of the St. Louis Blues and 46% of their total production. Laterra, along with Tarasenko, who has the puck, and Jaden Schwartz. Jay Bouwmeester with a shot fought off by Michael Neuvert. Moved along at the Buffalo defense. Matt Molson scored his first goal of the season on Friday night for Tyler Ennis, who's on the wing with Zemgus Girgensson. Girgenssen's down low, holding onto it. Ennis on the flank. His shot turned out by Brian Elliott, and the Blues are away. Good look at the third star this past week in the NHL, Vladimir Tarasenko's shot. What a save by Michael Neuvert.
Clean 3-on-2 with Kevin Shattenkirk jumping up to join the rush. And a good decision by Tarasenko. Don't waste it. Just put it on goal. And he scored a goal like this last week against the New Jersey Devils, and Neuvert stretches out and just rips it right out of the air. What a save.
He's been one highlight play after another, Pierre. It's been amazing to watch this kid.
16th overall in his draft year, and he actually was a pick that came from the Ottawa Senators for a defenseman by the name of David Rundblad.
And he and Laterra played together in the KHL, so they have some chemistry, which is certainly playing out here. Joakim Lindstrom with a shot blocked on the way through. Patrick Berglund goes hard at Rasmus Ristolainen. That's knocked down. Lindstrom gets after it. Torrey Mitchell wins the battle, and away go Buffalo. Over the line, Brian Flynn. His shot swallowed by Brian Elliott. No further play.
One of the hardest working players for the Buffalo Sabres is Torrey Mitchell, guy that went to the University of Vermont, started his career so well with the San Jose Sharks, moved on to Minnesota, and eventually found his way to Minnesota, or to Buffalo from Minnesota. But he's been a very solid player throughout his entire NHL career just because of how hard he works.
Sabres just averaging over 1 goal per game. It's been an immense struggle for them. They're looking for a variety of different ways to get it done, trying to stay together as a team, as it's dumped out by Ian Cole, played here by Tyler Myers. Max Lapierre watching him. Georges hinges away. Cody Hodgson. Easy chance for Brian Elliott. We'll think about it, melt it down.
You know, this is what one of the things Buffalo wants to try to accomplish. Fewer turnovers in the neutral zone, more time in the attacking zone. Get pucks in deep and try to attack.
Take a look at Ted Nolan, who's searching for answers, and I guess the foundation of it all is a solid work ethic. That comes all the way back now in the St. Louis zone. Kevin Shattenkirk for David Backus. Jay Bouwmeester. On the off wing, Paul Stastny right in for a chance. Shut down by Neuvert. Mike Weber getting back on him. Cody McCormick takes over for the Sabres. Long stretch pass picked off by Bouwmeester. They clear it right back in the Buffalo zone. It's by Neuvert, manned by Weber. Tyson Strachan, a former Blue, in control. A shot taken by Alex Steen, handled by Neuvert.
John, this whole sequence starts with an offensive zone faceoff for the Buffalo Sabres. So watch, Stassi's going to win the draw, move the puck D to D to the wing, then the D jumps in, takes the relay from Backus up the ice, they're off and they attack. That's great team play. That's exactly why they're so good. And then at the end, this is a final result. Create the offensive zone time off the cycle and then get a shot on Michael Neuvert.
Jori Laterra wins the draw. Shattenkirk wide, fanned down by Schwartz. Another chance right out in front for Laterra. Out of the corner now, Josh Georges. Try and move it along the wall, cut off by Jaden Schwartz. Jori Laterra there too. Bouwmeester faking that shot to the open corner. St. Louis on the attack. Georges hard pressed down low. Tarasenko It's off the stick. It deflects off Tyler Ennis. It comes all the way back to Elliott.
That's a better job by Tyler Ennis having his stick in the lane. Remember early on in the game he did not. It created a chance for Gunnarsson.
St. Louis starts the night at 9-4-1, 5-3 here. Neuber hangs on to that one with 16:31 left in this first period.
Well, this is a pace that Buffalo probably wants to play at right now. Just kind of take the crowd out of it, take St. Louis out of it. But you can see St. Louis is trying to warm up the pace, trying to accelerate things right now and put a little more duress on the Buffalo Sabre defense.
Buffalo is 2-5 on the road. Regulation win in San Jose and a shootout victory in Carolina. Patrick Berglund facing off here against Torrey Mitchell. Mitchell wins it back. Nikita Zadorov given a shove by Joakim Lindstrom. Dug out by Ristolainen. Away for the veteran Brian Gianta, the former captain of the Montreal Canadiens. Hit by Steve Ott. Tight turn by Bouwmeester. His pass off the stick of Flynn. Carried in the zone by Patrick Berglund. To the point. Petrangelo's shot may have been off net, but caught anyway by Michael Neuber.
Just little plays. I mean, they're trying to push the pace of the game. Bouwmeester and Pietrangelo jumping into the rush, and Michael Neuber forced to make another save. It's a good job by St. Louis. You gain the zone, spin out, create some time and space, put it back to the open point man, quick shot on goal, try to get a rebound for Steve Ott. It's a nice job of trying to manufacture offense by St. Louis.
David Backes, a clean win from Cody Hodgson. Pietrangelo on the wall. Alex Steen holding onto it. Inside it goes. Right out in front. Steen's pass unattainable for Backes. Here come the Sabres back out. Drew Stafford. He'll delay. Delorier's shot fought off by Elliott. Nicholas Delorier with a good chance. Now the Blues back out to center ice. They're looking at Alex Steen. He'll flip it in. A vibrant rebound. Good play by Tyson Strachan on Steen. Now Stafford. Buffalo's leading scorer, Mike Weber. Stafford again over the line. Delorier goes wide off the stick of Ian Cole and out of play.
Now the Buffalo Sabres get a good chance. I love Cody Hodgson driving hard in the net. That opens up a seam for Nicolas Delorier to get a puck on goal. Brian Elliott forced to come up with a glove save. Couldn't corral the rebound, but did make the glove save. You see Brian Trottier, a 6-time Stanley Cup winner, behind the Buffalo Sabre defense, telling Cody Hodgson, way to go. He did the right thing, Johnny. Drove to the net hard without the puck.
Delorier has been a hard-working player for Buffalo, leading them in terms of hits. Been delivering that physical game. A good look at some physicality here. Tyler Myers on Chris Porter. Porter grinding hard for the Blues. Delayed penalty upcoming here against Buffalo. Elliott to the bench. 6 skaters out. LaPierre muscled by Cody McCormick. It's loose. Chris Stewart gets possession. Mike Lego signifies holding. St. Louis to the power play.
This is a teachable moment for Teddy Nolan for Tyler Myers. Teddy Nolan's got to get him into the room after this period and say, okay, you got him there. Don't hold him. Don't hold him. Put your stick in the ice and don't hold him. Now, Porter's helping it out a little bit, but that stick's got to be on the ice. It can't be parallel to the ice. It's got to be on the ice. That's a teachable moment. I know he's 6'9", but he's got to be better than that.
So he takes the seat for holding and brings about a power play sponsored by Kia Motors. St. Louis Blues are number 5 with their power play. Buffalo's penalty killing number 14. Blues are 4 out of 13 in the last 5 with their power play off the draw. Pietrangelo with Shattenkirk. Kevin Shattenkirk, he'll dust it off. Pietrangelo up top. Around the horn they go, Tarasenko. Shattenkirk, here it comes. Blocked in front. Good block by Josh Georges. He leads the NHL in terms of blocks, and he gets it out.
He's going to have a big bounce-back game. I don't know if it'll be enough to help Buffalo win, but Georges was not good on Saturday against Pittsburgh. On the ice for all 6 Pittsburgh goals.
Imagine that. Every goal, right?
Yeah, including one. He got an assist on 1 Buffalo goal. He's -3, but that's because Pittsburgh had 2 power play goals.
He's paired on defense with Mike Weber. Clears it all the way in on Brian Elliott. Shattenkirk this way will move it back. Alex Pietrangelo in back of the goal. See the time left in the opening period. And the time left on the initial power play. Shattenkirk wipes it in. Ristolainen. Tyson Strachan hard around out of the reach of Pietrangelo in a foot race with Brian Flynn. Short-handed, here he comes. His shot off the shoulder of Brian Elliott, and it goes out of play.
That's a great job by Brian Flynn out of the University of Maine, putting some pace on Alex Pietrangelo at the end of a power play situation for Pietrangelo. Win the race and whip one on goal. See the neutral zone of Buffalo. That's Ristolainen who's going to go back and get the puck. So they're almost playing like a sinker situation there, hard off the boards, and then Flynn creates a foot race situation with Alex Pietrangelo.
Torrey Mitchell goes forward on the face-off. Now they crank it up. Jay Bouwmeester through the center zone. They'll move it. They flood that side. Backus, Steen, they get after it for the Blues. Out of the corner, it kicks out. This way, controlling it, Ian Cole. Now Bouwmeester getting it back from Steen. Alex Steen goes wide. He'll walk it to the outside and back. Bouwmeester on the flank again. And set up shop inside. Backus handled by Neuvert. And David Backus taken down. He and Mike Weber get after it.
And one of the tougher guys for the Buffalo Sabres is Mike Weber. Talked about Buffalo in the neutral zone in the shorthand situation. Let's see how the Blues attack it. You see all four white sweaters backing off. They're trying to funnel a puck, and then it's wired around. They get possession. Backus one whack at it, tries to get a second one, and Weber, he doesn't like that, so he pushes back on Backus.
David Backus will stay out. He took a nice pass from Paul Stastny. Backus, Stastny, and Steen up front. Pietrangelo and Shattenkirk on the points for Ken Hitchcock. 29 seconds left on the Blues power play. Cody McCormick will take the face-off for Buffalo. In control, Josh Georges. Off the boards, right out as they kill time. St. Louis has just a few seconds left for a final push. Carried out here by Kevin Shattenkirk. Good look at the Connecticut native. He'll go deep. Off the end wall, he has it himself. Away from Strachan. Nikita Zadorov not out. Alex Steen for St. Louis. Pietrangelo, they trade places. Now Shattenkirk fanning on a pass. He gets it back. Myers is out of the box. It's centered. Picked off by Buffalo's Tyler Myers. And away they go. Through the center zone, it's Brian Flynn. He'll go off in a change and get it deep. Out of the corner, McCormick. Riding on Pietrangelo. Moving it off a stick, off Paul Stastny. Girgensson shut down a couple of times by Brian Elliott. 12:49 left to go in the opening period as the Sabres survive that power play. We're scoreless here in St. Louis. Another one of our veterans here at Scott Trade Center. Seaman First Class, Wilbur Robbins. A rousing ovation. Tell you what, Pierre, can't do this enough.
No, and you handled the open so well, John. Really well said. Can't thank everybody enough that wears the uniform, man or woman, and all the great things they do for all of us.
The Blues had a 90-minute practice yesterday and spent the rest of the day traveling to many bases and meeting a lot of the military personnel. This is also their military appreciation night. As it's worked all the way back. Michael Neuvert by Steve Ott. Nikita Zadorov, good-looking Russian defenseman, young defenseman. He along with Ristolainen on this combination. They're going to let these two kids figure it out. Broken up here. Lindstrom right out in front, fended off by Neuvert. Kicks out. Barrett Jackman can't get to it. Losing his edge, Tyler Ennis. And now Zemgus Girgensons through the center zone, the Latvian, with a shot canceled by Ian Cole. Patrick Berglund dumps it back out to neutralize. Zadorov, play it back. Buffalo now hinges ahead. Nice pass, Zadorov. Girgensons is in, and he's stopped by Elliott with help from the goalpost.
That's a great play by Brian Elliott. A fantastic play by the Sabres to create that opportunity for Girgensons, who's furious coming off the ice.
Zadorov, beautiful pass right up the middle. Now it's carried out here by Vladimir Tarasenko. He'll move up. Defended well by Tyler Myers. Nicholas Delorier right in front of you, Pierre. Taken out that time by Yori Laterra. He's bumped by Cody Hodgson. Tarasenko has room. Over the line. He walks in, delays, holds onto it. Shut down by Neuvert. And another penalty as Jaden Schwartz was taken down.
Now, Keith and Catherine and JR were talking about Jaden Schwartz and this line in particular, but what Schwartz does. He creates so much energy by driving to the net, and he opens up a ton of stuff for a player like Tarasenko. So here's Tarasenko. Look at Schwartz going to the net. That opens a lot of things up for Tarasenko's got the composure with the puck. You see Schwartz go hard to the net. Weber gets the penalty for hauling Schwartz down as he goes to the net. That's a really unselfish play and a smart play by Jaden Schwartz.
Second power play presented by Kia. Georges right off the face-off for Buffalo. Dumps it out. Ryan Elliott now will set the power play for Ken Hitchcock and his team. Shattenkirk, the quarterback, with Pietrangelo on 1 point. Stastny up front, Steen and Backus. Georges paired on defense with Myers. Flynn, McCormick up top for Ted Nolan. As it comes all the way down to Brian Elliott.
Well, the neutral zone concept of Buffalo, I think, is frustrating St. Louis right now. They're not giving anything. They're just backing off and forcing St. Louis to shoot in.
Shots are 8-7 Buffalo. David Backus. Alex Steen faking. Shooting one. A good block by Tyson Strachan. And Girgensons will kill more time. Buffalo has Girgensons up front now with Torrey Mitchell. Strachan. Ristolainen on the back end. Around the boards, Tarasenko gives chase for St. Louis. Mitchell got there first, and now it's knocked down by Laterra. Pietrangelo holding on to it along the boards. Yori Laterra. Tarasenko, Pietrangelo this way, Ian Cole. You'll think about it. Pietrangelo straight away to an open wing. Rasmus Ristolainen on it, up the middle, not out. Good anticipation. Pietrangelo shot stopped by Neubert. Heading through it is Torrey Mitchell, and out she goes. 10 minutes as we see, and about a half-minute left in this power play. Dave Bouwmeester, well over 700 consecutive games. The NHL's Iron Man that goes deep. Flynn is back. What's played along the boards by Ian Cole. Turning stick. And Stastny, Bouwmeester, off Steen's stick. Alex Steen gets to it, flushed out by Georges. And the skates of Flynn, corralled by Bouwmeester. Alex Steen one more time. This is Paul Stastny. He'll get to the corner, lay it back. Steen one more time. Weber's up and ready. In the center zone, Bouwmeester. Weber released from the penalty box. Buffalo has killed off two. Brian Flynn goes off in a change and throws it in. Good kill by the Sabres, Pierre.
Very good. They're working their butts off, Buffalo.
Now Zadorov. Crossing the line. Some room off the stick of Elliott. Ennis. Brian Giunta, Matt Molson looking around for the Sabres. Nikita Zadorov out of the reach of Giunta. Tyler Ennis guarded by Ian Cole. He'll stop and start. Ennis goes to work. The center one mopped up by Cole, and it deflects out of play. 8:47 left to go in the opening period. A couple of good penalty kills for the Buffalo Sabres. We're scoreless. We're back in St. Louis. Pierre Maguire standing by with the Blues head coach, Ken Hitchcock.
Is this pace quick enough for you?
Well, the pace is quick. That's the problem. We don't have it on the grind down there. We're kind of one and done. We've had lots of shots, but no second shots. So we got to get on the grind there and make them make mistakes. If we make them make mistakes, they put the puck on the boards a lot. We can pick those off. A couple of shifts we've had have been good, but not enough sustained pressure for us.
Thanks very much, Coach.
Thanks.
You know, Pierre, he's fearful of this. Any coach would be. Their team is clicking right now, and he talked about the proverbial trap game this morning.
Well, I have to tell you, this is nowhere near the pace they played at last week when they played in New York or in New Jersey. 2 games they won.
Max Lapierre off the pad of Michael Neubert. Shattenkirk to the outside. He'll dance. Off the stick of Michael Neubert. Carl Gunnarsson now will go deep. Kicked along by Tyson Strachan. Now it's wheeled out by Tyler Ennis. Good play by Chris Porter. Choking that off. Mike Weber. Head of Lapierre to the corner. They'll reverse it back for Tyson Strachan. Buffalo now attempts to get out of their own zone, and they do. Mike Weber. Move it by Kevin Shattenkirk all the way down to Brian Elliott. Jaden Schwartz riding a 3-game point streak. To the center ice area. Laterra goes cross corner. Tarasenko in first. Broken up by Delorier. They jockey along the boards for it. Now moving is Josh Georges. Vladimir Tarasenko. Pietrangelo. Wide of Neubert. Played here by Drew Stafford. Quick up through the center zone. Picked off by Jay Bouwmeester. Stolen by Buffalo's Drew Stafford. Then he's pickpocketed by Yori Laterra. A good battle here by Stafford to get it back. A third time. Here he comes. But Delorier was offside, and we get a stoppage. Friday, November 28th, join us for NBC's 2014 Discover NHL Thanksgiving Showdown. Henrik Lundqvist and the New York Rangers head to Philadelphia to take on Claude Giroux and the Philadelphia Flyers. The 2014 Discover NHL Showdown, Friday, November 28th on NBC. 7:23 left to go in the first period. John Forsland along with Pierre McGuire inside the glass. Here at Scott Trade Center, Chris Stewart, Cody McCormick, Marcus Foligno returning from a 5-game absence with an upper body concern here tonight. Joakim Lindstrom will drop it off for Barrett Jackman. Steve Hott back out to center ice. Sidorov takes over at his own line. Stalainen away now from Marcus Foligno. In the center ice area, Barrett Jackman. Steve Ott, the former Buffalo Sabre, came across at the trading deadline a season ago. Now they wind it up again. Shots 9-8 favoring Buffalo. Lindstrom through center off the stick of Ott. Stalainen coming back. Moving away from the forechecker. Ott, good play. Cody McCormick. Bring it back now. McCormick this way for Foligno, but they cross offside, and we get a break in play.
Well, Ken Hitchcock just told us he wanted to see more grinding from his team. This is a situation where St. Louis can actually create some grinding. Pucks in deep, good first man pressure. You got to take the man. Ott misses, and you see how quickly Ristolainen can make that breakout pass to Cody McCormick. That's what he wants to see, more physical play on the defense of the Buffalo Sabres.
Now it's tipped high. Chance here for Torrey Mitchell, knocked down. Ryan Gionta from the corner. Checked by Paul Stastny. It pops out. Gionta centers one. Nobody home. Good play by Alex Steen in front of his goaltender. He's peppered on the way out. Torrey Mitchell back to the point. Georges. And a shove from David Backes. Good play by Mitchell. They're strong on the boards here in the first period. The Buffalo Sabres. Now it's carried out here by David Backes. He'll thread it in wide of Neuvert. He'll reverse it. Lose his stick in the process. Trouble brewing possibly here. Buffalo needs to get it out. Neuvert has the stick back though, and it's manned by Tyler Myers, and away they go. Good change by Buffalo. Alex Pietrangelo. He'll wind it in. 5:40 left to go in period one. Jaden Schwartz broken up by Ristolainen. Dave Bouwmeester pinching in for St. Louis. Buffalo fights it off. Here they come. Matt Molson. He'll scale it by Pietrangelo. Girgensons inside, a good look there. Girgensons to the outside, Tyler Ennis right out in front, cleaned up by Pietrangelo, but not out. Ristolainen wristing one, stopped by Elliott and Sluice. He'll cover. Ryan Elliott fights it off and locates the puck. With 5:15 left to go in the first period. He's facing some pressure tonight from the Buffalo Sabres. A good job here. We're scoreless. Well, the players in this league understand their importance in terms of what they give back to the community and what they get from the community. And David Backes and the Blues yesterday, as we pointed out, they visited Scott Air Force Base in St. Clair County, spent most of the day there, and had a great time with our troops. Currently, right now, in a situation where you can get there and understand what they're going through. You get to meet the players, and you see this league-wide, Pierre, all over the league as we commemorate Veterans Day.
Agreed, John. One of the more eloquent spokesmen in the National Hockey League is David Backes. He's just a phenomenal ambassador for the sport. He's done so many good things on so many different levels, whether it's for people, whether it's for animals, doesn't matter. David Backes is a phenomenal guy and a great ambassador for the National Hockey League.
A great leader for this franchise. 1 point out of first place in the Central Division. Off the faceoff, Max Lapierre, Chris Porter, approaching Nikita Zadorov. Rasmus Ristolainen, a good look there as he's bumped by Max Lapierre out of the corner. Hard work by St. Louis's Chris Porter.
This is more of what Ken Hitchcock wants, grinding on their defense, grinding on their forwards, creating chances off of it, board play.
Magnus Pajärvi is on this line too, with Lapierre and Porter. Reverse here as the Sabres attempt to get it out. Zadorov sends it back again for his partner. 4:35 left in the scoreless first period. Shots 11 for Buffalo, 8 taken by St. Louis. Zemgus Girgensons, lead feed, Matt Molson with Tyler Ennis. He'll pull up, delay, shoot one. Good stop by Elliott. Alex Steen, rubbed out a bit by Girgensons. He'll carry along. Steen, but Backes was stride in offside. And we get a stoppage of play. Tomorrow it's a doubleheader on Wednesday night rivalry. The Bruins visit Toronto, take on the Maple Leafs. Later on, the Kings face the Ducks. It all starts with NHL Live at 7 Eastern. Thursday on the NHL Network, it's Colorado and the New York Rangers at 8 Eastern. Download the app or watch live online at NBCSports.com/live-extra.
Boston Bruins are starting to smoke, Johnny.
They are 4-2 winners over New Jersey last night, and without Zdeno Chara. They're getting it done. So rising to the occasion to the outside here. Paul Stastny inside for Steen. Tyler Myers. That'll be a good one, Pierre. Toronto's playing well, too.
They really are.
Now Barrett Jackman. Away from Delorier. 3:40 left in this first period. Paul Stastny hit by Delorier. Loose puck. Jackman gets to it. It's broken up. Cody Hodgson. His shot. Sealed off by Elliott. No further play.
And it all starts with a big physical play by Nicolas Delorier. And it ends with Cody Hodgson whipping one on Brian Elliott. Big hit on Stastny, forces a turnover. Drew Stafford starts a counterattack off of Barrett Jackman's skate. And then Cody Hodgson just rips it on goal. John, what's amazing to me about Cody Hodgson when you think about it, he was a 10th player pick in the OA draft. In 2009, he was a Canadian Major Junior Hockey Player of the Year. He had an unbelievable pedigree coming into the National Hockey League, and a lot of people thought he was going to be a can't miss. Well, he's had some injury situations. There have been some questions about his foot speed. Looks like he's starting to get better here under this coaching staff. But man, oh man, it hasn't been as easy as everybody thought it would be.
Turnaround shot by Cody McCormick. Marcus Foligno. Back of the goal. In support, Chris Stewart. They grind a bit of a cycle here. He'll stop and start on Pietrangelo. Chris Stewart to the point. Mike Weber. He'll swing it across for Strachan. His bid wide of Elliott. Loose this way for Chris Stewart. Muscled by Pietrangelo. Out of the corner, McCormick. Laterra's there too. Four-man scrum. Bolmeister had it, lost it. Now here come the Blues. Pietrangelo away for Jaden Schwartz. Pietrangelo for the front, the trailer. Tarasenko, he'll lead him. They score! Jori Laterra with a great release. And the Blues strike first.
John, good defense leads to better offense. And you'll see the St. Louis Blues a good job. Tarasenko moves the puck up. Pietrangelo headmans the puck. And Pietrangelo says, I'm going to the net. Tarasenko gets it. He hears Laterra call for the puck. And it's into the yawning cage. That's just a great job. Pietrangelo takes two defenders with him. And then eventually Neuvert, he doesn't know where the puck's coming from. And he reacts to it after it hits the back of the net. That's just a great hockey play by the St. Louis Blues, starting within zone coverage.
Jori Laterra, fourth goal of the season. On a line now responsible for over 60% of their goal scored.
John, that's more of the pace that I'm used to seeing from the St. Louis Blues right there.
Beautiful transitional rush. Drop pass from Vladimir Tarasenko, who now has points in 6 consecutive games. They go to the corner. Patrick Berglund wheels out the center for Steve Ott. Crisscrossing with Joakim Lindstrom. Now it's moved by Josh Georges. Ryan Flynn on the boards. Checked a bit by Shattenkirk, and now coming back forward is Carl Gunnarsson, the former Toronto Maple Leaf. He'll swing it across. It's coming off hip surgery. A long way back. That's a tough injury now. Pajärvi in the zone in the off wing on Zadorov. Tyler Ennis helping out defensively to the point. Jackman, veteran, gets it deep. Chris Porter, checked by Ristolainen. LaPierre losing control. Ennis lays it along, gathered in by Matt Moulson. 1:47 left in the first period. Nikita Zadorov at the line, moving it by Barrett Jackman. Zemgus Girgensons for Matt Moulson. He'll send it back. Ian Cole hands it off to his partner, Barrett Jackman, and out they come. Magnus Pajärvi takes a hit from Ristolainen. He'll get it deep. First by Zadorov, and they start over. Jori Laterra, 17:08. Vladimir Tarasenko and Jaden Schwartz. Schwartz now has points in 4 consecutive games. Barrett Jackman. David Backes. Working Georges. Pinned a bit there. Good play by Georges. Drew Stafford back the other way. 1:05 left in period 1. Stafford flying in the zone. Myers shot picked off by Brian Elliott.
Quick counter off a turnover. Good job by Buffalo answering back by pushing the pace. And you heard Keith and JR and Captain talking about Drew Stafford and his value potentially. Here's one of the reasons why he can be considered valuable. He can attack with speed, drops it off to Tyler Myers, who zings it on goal. Brian Elliott with the quick glove. Drew Stafford played at Shattuck St. Mary's with Chris Porter, and then he went to the University of North Dakota with Chris Porter as well.
Laterra gets the boot. Now Schwartz will face off against Cody Hodson. 4 first-rounders from the 08 draft in this game. Cody Hodson centering this line. He joins Tyler Myers, Tyler Ennis, and Alex Pietrangelo from that draft. Laterra pulls up for a shot. Good stop by Neuvert. 40 seconds left in the period. Hodson now plays it along. Shattenkirk getting back for the Blues. Rory Laterra, the goal scorer, drops it back for Gunnarsson. Picked off by Delorier. Stafford one more time. They'll move it deep. Hodson going down. Gunnarsson is on him. Delorier to the outside. Stamp it on the target. Elliott says that's enough. He'll cover up.
You know, the Sabres aren't intimidated. They're pushing back. There's no question. And two of the guys that are getting a lot of minutes, Ristolainen and Zadorov, they're staying out there, but Ristolainen's done a nice job, as has Zadorov. There's St. Louis, quick pace, trying to push it. Jump in, Laterra whips it on goal. Good save by Michael Neuvert.
Cody McCormick and Patrick Berlin. Berlin on this face-off in the St. Louis zone. 18.3 seconds on the clock. Goes to school here. It back.
He's really good on that side of the ice, Patrick Berglund.
Can power it right back.
He's a big fella, too.
Certainly is. A steal. Steen. Good recovery by Ristolainen. Steen again. Getting it from Bouwmeester. His shot. Neuvert got a piece of it. 2 seconds left in the period. That'll do it. 10 shots for St. Louis and the goal from Jori Laterra. 15 shots taken by the Buffalo Sabres. Stay tuned for the Lexus Intermission Report with Catherine Tappan, Keith Jones, and Jeremy Roenick. Sabres showing some promise in this one and a fast start in the Big Apple. 20 minutes down on Veterans Day here at Scottrade Center in St. Louis. The Buffalo Sabres, they've come to play, but they're up against it, against one of the best lines in the NHL right now. And capping it off, the goal from Jori Laterra. St. Louis 1, Buffalo, no score. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by Lexus. Introducing the first ever 306 horsepower RC Coupe from Lexus. And by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. Back inside Scottrade Center here in St. Louis, Jori Laterra has the game's only goal. A beautiful transitional rush. John Forsland, Pierre Maguire's inside the glass. Here, pretty interesting first 20 minutes.
I think the Buffalo Sabres deserve some credit for the first 20 minutes, the way they battled their penalty killing adjustment to thwart the St. Louis Blues on the power play. Now they have to find a way to beat Brian Elliott.
And we'll start with Cody McCormick, Chris Stewart, and Marcus Foligno. Laterra, Vladimir Tarasenko, and Jaden Schwartz for St. Louis. Tyler Myers back after it in his own zone. Foligno on the wall, getting help from Myers. 6'8" defenseman away for Josh Georges. He'll wipe it in. Hard around it goes. Top of your screen, Foligno. McCormick over skates. Alex Pietrangelo had it, lost it right out in front. In trouble here possibly for St. Louis right off the hop. Pietrangelo. Jay Bouwmeester has time and space.
The problem you have when you play against St. Louis, those two guys in defense, they settle everything down.
Yes.
And then they can get out of their zone so easily.
They're amazing and tight, aren't they? Puck is batted down with a high stick. Let's go inside the glass with Pierre Maguire.
One of the things Ken Hitchcock wanted to see more of, board play. He saw some of it in the first period. He wants to see more of it because he wants to see them grind on some of the better Buffalo players and on their defense. So forward check with aggression, separate people from the puck, establish body position, create chances, and eventually good things like this are going to happen, John. That came off a good board play down deep in the St. Louis zone, leading to that transition goal you were talking about.
line that has been responsible for most of their team offense. A little problem with the ice at the Buffalo blue line. That's why we have a delay. You see it there.
You know, sorry, Johnny, go ahead. Finish up.
Nope, I'm fine.
I was just going to say, one of the things we saw from St. Louis today that I thought was really encouraging for them down the road, the hard work of TJ Oshie.
Yes.
You know, I really enjoyed watching Oshie skate today and work hard shooting the puck. And people were talking about his practice yesterday on the off day and how hard he works. So that's good news if you're a fan of the Blues, or if you're up there in Warm Road at Izzy's watching the game.
And they are, right?
They are.
They are. They always are.
Yeah.
But he's close and out with a concussion. And we're going to take every precaution, of course, but in good spirits around the team the last couple of days. That will help their balance even more when he gets back. Gunnarsson with a shot off a body. Attacking him was Tyler Ennis right off the faceoff. He had the block. And Gunnarsson, it deflects off the stick of Matt Molson. You see it come back. Shattenkirk. Gunnarsson now in the corner. On the wall, Paul Stastny. Checked by Zemgus Girgensons. Molson's shot won't get there because of an offside call with 18:53 left to go in the second period.
They need him to go. Keith, Catherine, and Jared were talking about Matt Molson in the pregame show, and they need that young man out of Cornell University to get jumping. Part of the problem, though, John, is when he scored those three straight years of 30-plus goals, he's playing with a pretty good center iceman, a guy named John Tavares.
Right.
No disrespect meant to any of the centers in Buffalo. Not one of them is capable of being John Tavares.
No, he would get to the scoring area and get the puck, right?
Yeah.
And finish. And it's tough here. Now it's moved along. Backus, back out. And as we pointed out, Molson scored his first goal on Friday night. And a loss at home against Edmonton, now out of the corner. Alex Steen, checked by Tyson Strachan. Backus off a body off Mike Weber. Pittsburgh native in control and back out. Brian Giunta, Brian Flynn, easily detected by Brian Elliott. And we get a stoppage.
Well, John, we just did a tape situation on board play for the St. Louis Blues. Here's an example of board play again. Good solid board play, good close by Steen, hard on it, keep it alive, keep your feet moving right out front, chance for David Backus. But that whole thing starts because of aggressive board play by David Backus and Alex Steen and Paul Stastny. That's what they want to see. That's what Hitchcock told us during the first period.
Pierre, where do you like him? On the wall, or you like him at
I
center?
like Backus down the middle. But again, I mean, they've got a pretty good array of center icemen, so they just need him on the ice as much as possible. He's such a good player.
Right now they have him playing the wing with Paul Stastny. Tyler Myers paired on defense with Josh Georges. 2 minutes gone in the second period. We'll negotiate out to center. Dump it in. Elliott will leave it there for the D. Now he elects to move it off a body, off to Laurier. He'll grind. Petrangelo, there it is. Tight quarters, good play. Patrick Berglund, and out they come. Lindstrom on the wing. Working Georges. Myers getting back with Ott. They rally him back with Michael Neuvert. Out of the scrum, Tyler Myers in control. And back out, you're looking at Cody Hodgson. Coming up on Jay Bouwmeester. Roadblock thrown up on him. Patrick Berglund will swoop back in his own zone and start the breakout. Bouwmeester through center. Buffalo positioned well in the center zone. Cut off by Marcus Foligno. He's jamming with Steve Ott. Out of that scrum, Foligno will get it deep. Elliott puts it on a tee for Vladimir Tarasenko. Now Bouwmeester away for Ott. Little chip by Ristolainen and back out. Nikita Zadorov sails it by Chris Stewart. This will be icing against Buffalo. Watch live out-of-market games with NHL Game Center Live. One subscription lets you watch on your computer, smartphone, tablet, and connected devices. Visit NHL.com/GCL to learn more.
Speaking of Game Center, Tarasenko's on the ice. His grandfather lives in Novosibirsk, which is in Siberia. He bought his grandfather Game Center. He watches all the games over in Siberia.
Lino back out. I hear he calls him with a complete report.
Yes, he does.
Lehtera. Tarasenko, Lehtera, the Magic again! They do it again! Yuri Lehtera, his second tonight. Right now it's an unbeatable combo. 2-0 St. Louis.
Well, Grandpapa and Novosibirsk are going to be happy with this one. Laterra counterattacks off the turnover, then the escapability of Tarasenko, a little cross and drop back to Laterra, and he just rifles it home. Give it, get it, shoot it, 2-0, that quick. And again, you get a mature player like Jiri Laterra to come over and play for you. There's no curve for him. He understands how to play against men. And he's a real good player, and everybody around the league starting to find that out.
Laterra is a Finn, 26. And as you point out, all of that development overseas.
He played for Tappara in 09-10. He led the Finnish Elite League in scoring, John. So it's not like he doesn't know how to play.
Right. Now Myers coming all the way back. Tyler Myers. We'll see if Buffalo can survive this now and get back to where they were in terms of their work ethic and not fade away. Pajärvi, LaPierre, Girgensons back on him. LaPierre holding onto it. They turn. Shattenkirk inside. Pajärvi, one chance, shut down by Neuvirth. Magnus Pajärvi. Carl Gunnarsson all the way across. Kevin Shattenkirk with a slap pass off the stick of LaPierre. Corralled by Buffalo. Here they come. Tyler Ennis has some room. He'll button hook. Throw it across. Good pass. Zadorov walks in. And it goes in the screen.
Magnus Pajärvi's really lucky there. That's his man. And he's going to come to the bench, and you watch. One of the coaches are going to talk to him. Pajärvi's got to be aware. Look, he's looking over his shoulder. Well, he's looking the wrong way. And you see him chasing right there, and then it's rifled high and hard by Zadorov. And Shattenkirk's talking to Hitchcock, and Pajärvi's down there, and they're going, whoa, you got to know your man.
Former Edmonton Oiler, Magnus Pajärvi.
First-round pick, too.
Jori Laterra, second tonight, 5th of the year. Steen in the zone. Tarasenko and Schwartz get the assist on the goal scored at 3:31. Ian Cole out of Notre Dame, broken up here by Brian Flynn. Torrey Mitchell at his side, Brian Gionta. He has it. Here's Mitchell. His shot caught by Brian Elliott.
Hasn't been an easy game for Brian Elliott. When you think about it, he's had to make some big saves. One on a breakaway against Girgensons. And this time the young man out of Montreal and the University of Vermont, Torrey Mitchell, gets it, puts it on goal, and no second chance opportunity for Brian Flynn.
Elliott had 33 saves in a loss here on Saturday night.
That was a great hockey game, by the way, John. Peter Laviolette's done a fantastic job with the Nashville Predators. And one of the things when you play Nashville, it's hard to forecheck because their defense has so much mobility and they move the puck so well.
They are 1 point ahead of St. Louis in the Central Division as we start play tonight. The toughest division in the National Hockey League comes all the way back in. Icing is called here against St. Louis. We'll swing it back. Just about 5 minutes gone in the second period. Cody Hodgson, Drew Stafford, Nicholas Deslauriers. Stafford will center the line here, take the face-off. Opposed by Patrick Berglund. Face-off controlled by the Sabres. Zadorov rolls it ahead. Now Bouwmeester on the wall for Steve Ott. Berglund in a tie-up with Stafford. Hodgson in support. Kicks out as we see. Pietrangelo right on the tape. Steve Ott's away. Former Sabre, little dump and chase. Berglund's there. Good look at he along with Zadorov. They grind along the boards. Lindstrom for St. Louis. Broken up by Tyler Myers. Deslauriers. Checked by Ott. Now they jam for it. And it pops out the neutral ice. Jay Bouwmeester scales it in on Michael Neuvirth. Now Myers on the wall. Cody Hodgson across. Zadorov. Headmans for Stafford. It's behind the Blues defense. Ian Cole is on it. They'll wind it along for Tarasenko. Efficiently back out to center ice. He handcuffs Schwartz. He recovers now. Barrett Jackman to the outside of Strachan through the blue and out. Top of your screen, Matt Molson. Cross ice pass for Girgensons, and here they come for the front. Ennis, his shot goes high. Going down was Ian Cole in front of that one.
One of the things coaches like to see guys that hustle. Girgensons hustles a ton for the Buffalo Sabres. Watch Tarasenko come back in this transition situation for the St. Louis Blues. He kind of senses, uh-oh, This is a potential odd man rush. Watch 91. He gets on his horse right there, and he busts to come back and find an area in coverage. That's a great job by 91 in blue, Tarasenko.
Good play by Ian Cole going down in front of that. Now off the draw. As we see, Tyler Myers had it picked off by Paul Stastny. Alex Steen lays it along here for David Backes. He'll turn out of that corner. Jurgensen's helping out the D. Pressured by Steen. Along the boards. Back out to the center zone. Shattenkirk. The Blues are onside. Backes pulls up. Lays it back for Steen. Tries to steamroll his way in. By Zadorov. Good play by Steen. Here's Stastny. Punched right on. What a stop by Neuvert off Shattenkirk. In the slot. Broken up. Zadorov losing to Steen. His pass. Picked off by Tyler Ennis. He'll attempt to play it to himself. Kevin Shattenkirk getting back. That goes high in the air. Gunnarsson for St. Louis. Held in by Torrey Mitchell. Carl Gunnarsson now moves it back. Just about 7 minutes gone in the second period. John Forslund, Pierre Maguire inside the glass here at Scottrade Center. First of two meetings between these two opponents from separate conferences.
John, you kind of get the feeling if St. Louis scores the next goal, it's going to be trouble for Buffalo. They got to get one soon.
Brian Flynn easily detected and out of play by Brian Elliott. 12:47 left to go in the second period. It's been double trouble tonight for the Buffalo Sabres because of Jori Lehtera. One in the first, one in the second. That's all they need for now. The ovations are long and hearty on Veterans Day here in St. Louis. And another member of the Armed Services, Petty Officer Second Class Jasmine Robles, getting her just due. Patrick Berglund off the stick of Max Lapierre, and again back in Blues ice.
Berglund just dominates the face-off circle on that side of the ice. It's 57% in the first period. He won that one clean again.
Don't miss a doubleheader. Wednesday night rivalry continues, presented by Coors Light. Patrice Bergeron and the Bruins take on Phil Kessel and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Then Ryan Getzlaf and the Ducks. Jonathan Quick and the LA Kings Wednesday night rivalry. The night you love to hate. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern on NBCSN.
Doc Emmerich and Eddie Olczyk will be in Toronto. I'll be there with them. And then Brian Engblom and Dave Strader out in Los Angeles.
It'll be a great night. In both conferences, both teams playing exceptionally well. Wheeled back out here by Chris Stewart. Bouwmeester for St. Louis on him. You see it up close. Back of Brian Elliott. Now Marcus Foligno tries to fight off a man. He does. Good job by Foligno. In now for Stewart. Nullified here. Alex Pietrangelo to the outside and back out. Jori Lehtera. 2 tonight. Off the stick of Myers. Strachan handcuffed a bit by Neuvert. Lehtera holding onto it. Sets up. Schwartz blocked by Strachan. It kicks around. And Buffalo will survive as they get it out. McCormick away now for Marcus Foligno. Easily detected by Elliott. Lehtera headmans the puck for Vladimir Tarasenko. Schwartz at his side. Jaden Schwartz pulls up. Has room. He'll dangle down low. Ristolainen moves it along for Stafford, not out. Jackman turning stick. Tarasenko. Unattainable pass intended for Ian Cole, who chucks back. Ian Cole flushed out on the forecheck. Hodgson out in front, nullified by Barrett Jackman. Steen away now for Cole. 9 minutes gone in the second period. Ian Cole pulls up. Off the end wall. It's loose. Zadorov for Buffalo. Delorier, top of your screen. Elevates the puck back out. St. Louis now reorganizing with Barrett Jackman. Alex Steen. Fancy stick work again. Tarasenko wide of Neuvert.
That release is lightning quick.
Again, here he comes in tight. Neuvert said no on Steen. Just want to sit back and let Tarasenko get after him, right? Don't say anything.
Dude, just get out of the way.
That's right. Now it's rolled in. Wow. Shattenkirk will wind it up. Here comes Steen. He has room. They gain entry again. Backes for Steen. Mike Weber on him. It goes by Berglund. Gunnarsson in tight. Carl Gunnarsson Hands it off to David Backes. He'll stop and start. Separated from it by Mike Weber. Backes broke his stick. Myers now on the wall. Good job by Gunnarsson. He wins a battle. He keeps it going on the pinch. Now Stastny by the driftwood. Weber cut off by Backes. Punched back out to center ice. Here's Tyler Ennis with Matt Moulson. Holding, delaying to the outside. He'll circle the wagons. It's stopped by Elliott. And no further play. 9:40 left to go in the second period. Brian Elliott continues to get it done on Veterans Day.
Coach, you obviously got to be a little bit encouraged for pushing back against St. Louis. What would you like to see your team do better here?
Well, yeah, we got to get a break sooner or later. That first goal is a double drop pass. Our goaltender lost sight of it. So, but tonight so far, I like our game.
I got to ask you, are you having fun doing this? It's a total rebuild.
It really is. Especially with some of the young kids. We got Russalainen and Zadorov going against guys like Beckless, and there's some real class athletes on the St. Louis Blues. So to watch the young kids compete against them, it's nice.
Thanks a lot, Teddy.
Thank you.
And they're holding up well. They'll grow, they'll learn, and get some real hard lessons here along the way. Gianta fought off by Brian Elliott. Threw a maze out in front. Steve Ott reds ahead for Patrick Berglund to the outside, giving a bit of a shove by the guy who has the puck, Tyson Strachan. Gianta. Nice cut in half by Steve Ott. The Blues get it back. Now Strachan through the middle. A shift by Brian Flynn. You know, Pierre, you have to let them go, though, right? Under these conditions. Let these kids learn.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. I really like the way Teddy handled that last question. I mean, he knows it's a rebuild. He's got to work hard at this. And I had a great visit last night with his assistant coaches. And the one thing they all say is that our team's working hard. They're responding to Teddy's message, and we are getting better. And I think for Tim Murray, the general manager of this team, he knows. When he left Ottawa to come to Buffalo, it was a rebuild. Right. And he's doing a good job with this rebuild. I'll tell you right now, they're on their way. I really believe that, John.
You know, you've had experience in your coaching career with a team on the way up and going through things like this where you have to have a variety of messages. You know, you got to be tough. You got to ease up. You got to do it at the right time.
You had a good seat for some of those teams.
I did.
You saw nice or mean?
Yeah, depending on which day. I knew ahead of time. Comes back. Gunnarsson in control. 8:40 left in the second period. Jori Lehtera has the game's only 2 goals so far. A lead pass. It goes by Gunnarsson all the way back. Stood up by Tyler Myers. Jaden Schwartz to the point. Shattenkirk. Here it comes off the body. Delorier with a great block. He's slow to get up. Tarasenko for Schwartz. Schwartz out of that corner now on a cycle. Tarasenko again. One-timer Jackman blocked by Delorier. Getting to it is Lehtera.
Pulling Gregory Campbell here on this shift.
Boy, is he ever. All the way across for Jackman. Broken up by Myers. The Sabres finally get it out.
Delorier was originally drafted by the Los Angeles Kings, played 3 years for Mark Morris and the Manchester Monarchs before he came over to trade with LA.
Braden McNabb goes the other way, goes wide. It was late last year at the deadline. Now Steen inside. They grind here to the point. Jackman from Stastny, by Stastny. Here's Backes, nullified by Ristolainen. David Backes stays with it. Indirect pass for Jackman. Across they go. Ian Cole spins it wide of Michael Neubert. Barrett Jackman down the wall. To the outside, it's Paul Stastny. Away from Girgensons. He'll drop it off. Steen crunched by Ristolainen. Moved by Weber. To the point. Jackman, he'll settle it down.
How about this board play sequence for St. Louis? Wow.
It's awesome. Now it's played again. Cole, skate to stick. Paul Stastny. Hit by Zengus Girgensons. Now it's moved again by Weber. Anticipating is Jackman. Run into and knocked down hard. Mike Weber on him.
It's the only way Weber can stay in the league. Plays like that. He's got to play hard all the time.
Olsen springs Ennis. Cole is back. Tyler Ennis with a shot. Good play by Ian Cole. And a heavy hit.
Look out. Here comes the cavalry off the bench.
There has to be a response.
Oh, there will be.
And Zadorov has Cole.
This will be interesting. Not sure Zadorov's known for this. I know he's strong and big, but Ian Cole is big and strong.
What a
violent collision. I believe Ennis is okay because he's going at it too.
With
Without Steen.
Yeah, that's a bad choice. Steen's so much bigger, and that's where Tyler Myers got to get over there and help out. That's just not a fair fight.
Well, this will be the second altercation between these two. The linesman preoccupied with the first. Pierre, we'll see a series of plays here possibly, which are a chain reaction, and they're usually linked.
Yeah, there's no out of bounds in this sport. So here's the first one. There's Weber hard and Barrett Jackman. And here's at the end of the play, a puck's up in the air. Cole, it's a continuation play. Just as he goes to engage with Ennis is when the whistle blows. Now look at Buffalo, they're making a line change. There's nothing Cole can do in that situation. Nothing at all. And everybody comes off the bench, and I really believe that's about Buffalo stepping up for Tyler Ennis, and that's part of the rebuild. You want guys helping one another out.
And one of their youngest players stepping in. The 19-year-old Nikita Zadorov, that's Ian Cole, of course, in the box. And now they'll deliberate here because, again, you could have that second altercation, which will be tough for those two players.
Yeah, well, I think Steen's already been escorted out. But, you know, I think the one thing you talked about Zadorov, he learned his lessons well, playing for the London Knights for 2 years. And one of the smart things they did in Buffalo, they sent him back last year after he started and played 7 games for the Sabres. They sent him back to junior and played for a darn good coach there in Dale Hunter.
Mike Lego, Gord Dwyer will sort it out. And on this subject, the World Series of Fighting returns to NBCSN Saturday with 2 title fights in one night. First, Juthan Gatji takes on Melvin Guillard. Battle for the lightweight championship, and then Yushin Okami and David Branch collide in the cage for the middleweight belt. World Series of Fighting Saturday at 9 Eastern on NBCSN. So you say that Steen has been escorted off.
Yes, sir.
And Ennis will too, likely, as a second altercation, resulting from the original one between Zadorov and Ian Cole. All of this with 6:49 left in the second period. Well, we shouldn't have any power plays out of any of this, because as you say, Cole did the right thing in terms of how he played Ennis. So we'll wait for the official word. And it's quite possible now with 4 players on the ice for St. Louis that we will see a power play situation.
Harvey's going over to serve a penalty.
For Buffalo, number 51, Nikita Zadorov, 5 minutes for fighting.
Zadorov gets 5 for fighting.
Tyler Ennis, 5 minutes for fighting. For the Blues, number 28, Ian Cole, 2 minutes roughing and 5 minutes fighting.
Cole gets the extra 2 for roughing.
You know what's tough about that one? The referee's arm never went up in the air after Cole engaged with Tyler Ennis.
Okay. So Ted Nolan's team now will get a situation here where they will get to work with it. Again, Ian Cole gets the extra penalty for roughing. 5 minutes for fighting. Steen gets 5 for fighting, along with Ennis. Zadorov just 5 for fighting.
Where's the referee's hand? Never goes up.
Right.
Never once. And he's right there. And Mike Lego's arm never went up. So, again, I think it's a reaction to the noise and what happened afterwards. There's nothing Ian Cole can do in that situation. Colin Campbell and Mike Murphy, Chris Pronger, all guys working in the war room in Toronto, Stefan Catal, they were all defensemen in the NHL. Once you're engaged in that situation, you know there's nothing you can do.
So some housekeeping here before the power play. A power play that has Only 2 goals and 50 chances this season, and a power play that is yet to strike on the road.
And this is where Matt Molson's got to kick it into gear for the Buffalo Sabres. They desperately need his slot area presence to get goals.
And he's out there along with Zegmits, Gergensons, Drew Stafford, Tyler Myers, and Rasmus Ristolainen.
Johnny, a skill testing question for you.
Yes.
Matt Molson was part of the 2003 draft. Do you know which team drafted him?
Los Angeles.
No, that'd be wrong. The Pittsburgh Penguins,
Okay.
263rd pick.
Well, I just took a stab.
No, that was a good one, though. But he ended up turning pro with Los Angeles.
Partial credit.
Very good.
The power play will be presented by Las Vegas. And it is Buffalo's first tonight. Zemgus Girgensons will win it back. Myers goes across. Ristolainen now. And they will start a controlled breakout. Stafford, Girgensons, Molson up front. LaPierre and Ott, the up front killers for Ken Hitchcock. Petrangelo, Bouwmeester are back. Out of the corner, Drew Stafford. They'll set up the power play. Girgensons along the wall. Detected by Petrangelo for Steve Ott. Ooh, look out in the Buffalo bench.
Steve Ott, close to Teddy Nolan, you okay? And by the way, nothing but great things from Teddy Nolan of talking about Steve Ott, who was his captain last year. All kinds of superlatives. Now, David Backes does something different than most players shorthanded. He has a penalty killing stick. There it is, Johnny. And he comes out and he utilizes that and he utilizes it really well. One of the better penalty killers in the league, taking the face-off.
So why is that?
I think so it doesn't break. It's probably a little bit more reinforced and a little heavier.
He, along with Patrick Berglund now, as you see some power play numbers here. The Sabres looking for their first on the road this season as they dump it in. Petrangelo lays it along and back out. St. Louis has killed off 13 out of 16 in the last 5. Buffalo's 1 out of 16 with their power play in the same time period. Here's Drew Stafford at the line, moving up on Bouwmeester. Around it goes Brian Gionta, on and off his stick. Tries to recover. Jaden Schwartz back the other way with Laterra. What a move. Here comes Schwartz. Laterra, hat-trick.
Yeah, they're dancing in Helsinki tonight. Yuri Laterra, what a goal. What a play by Jaden Schwartz out of Wilcox, Saskatchewan and Colorado College. Jaden Schwartz one-on-one with Tyler Myers. Thanks for coming. He identifies and he knows he's got Rasmus Ristolainen dead and buried. And Yuri Laterra just takes it and shovels it home. What a move by Jaden Schwartz. Head up, identifies, wham. 3-0. That's something else.
His third tonight, 6th of the season.
You go back to October 28th, Tarasenko had 3 goals against Dallas.
Yes.
And then 3 nights later, he had 2 goals against Colorado. But the goal of the year was in New York. When they beat the Rangers, when he went through the Rangers, that's going to rival it right there. Here's Laterra's handiwork tonight. The double drop pass put in the open net. Michael Neubert was fooled. And here's Laterra off the run. Unselfish play, give and go with Tarasenko. Stick it to the back of the net. And then James Schwartz around Tyler Myers to Laterra. Hammer time, 3-0.
It's their version of Can You Top This? Buffalo, as a team, has scored 18, and this line has 21. Jaden Schwartz, Barrett Jackman. St. Louis, their first shorthanded goal of the season.
Just to put it in perspective, Tyler Myers is 6'9". Jaden Schwartz is 5'10" max. Tyler Myers thinks he has him contained, but Jaden Schwartz just changes pace on him. Doesn't do fancy stick handling, just chips it by the boards around Tyler Myers. That was something else.
And they are still on their feet. here at Scottrade.
It's a great hockey town, and they're developing a ton of young players here with their grassroots hockey market. Fantastic development programs going on here in St. Louis.
Outstanding. Minor teams year in and year out.
And how about Buffalo with Michael Pekka doing a lot of the guidance there, along with Matthew Barnaby. They're developing a ton of young players too in Buffalo.
And that brand new facility, the Harbor Center, Kevin Adams is running that program, along with many others.
Yep.
Now it's bounced in, Delorier to the outside. And that's where you really grow your fan base. Now Tyson Strachan scales it in. Elliott watches Pietrangelo come back, run into by Chris Stewart. 5 seconds left in the power play. Strachan lays it back. Delorier to the outside. Giunta stopped by Elliott. The rebound off the body was Cody Hodgson, blocked by Jay Bouwmeester. And away go the Blues. Patrick Berglund with Magnus Paajarvi. Berglund to the outside. Here comes Backes. He shoots, caught by Neuvert.
That's something else. That is great goaltending from Michael Neuvert.
4:32 left to go in the second period. It's showtime tonight here in St. Louis. And the show belongs to Jori Lehtera with a 3-goal hat trick. It's a complete standing ovation here at Scottrade Center. They have just asked those in the military who are currently serving or have served to stand first. And then in unison, the crowd reacted. A wonderful scene here on Veterans Day as they continue with their military appreciation night. John Forsland, Pierre Maguire inside the glass, and the Blues with a 3-goal lead. 4:32 left to go here in the second period. Off the draw, Tyler Myers away from Mike Weber. Lino tied up by Alex Pietrangelo. Weber moves it this way for Myers. Along the wall, Flynn, one-toucher from Mitchell. Back heat from Schwartz. Jaden Schwartz, diligence along the boards. Cut off by Myers. In support, Lehtera with all 3 goals. He goes down. Out of the corner, he sets up Schwartz. Across it goes, Tarasenko. His shot blocked. Marcus Foligno can't get it out. Vladimir Tarasenko. Tight turn by Jaden Schwartz. Lehtera one more time. Now Tarasenko. Schwartz holding on to it. Inside again, Tarasenko walks. Behind Neuvert. Will keep it on the periphery. Pietrangelo calling for it, Schwartz. The goal line, Lehtera. They're playing keep away. Schwartz again. Now Tarasenko, Lehtera.
They just need Sweet Georgia Brown playing over.
Crank it up. Anytime. I was waiting. Anytime. You're ready. Now it comes back. Lehtera again. Foligno is there. Tarasenko has room. Buffalo, flat-footed. They're exhausted. Pietrangelo inside. Chris Porter. Knocked down by Myers. Mitchell. Can he spin it out? Nope. No chance. It's tipped just wide by Stastny.
Ooh, the linesmen say it came out.
68 seconds, Pierre, in the zone. We had it in the truck. 68 seconds.
I can wear you out. I mean, that's just a fantastic job of dominating board play. Great skill from the top line of the Blues with Lehtera, Schwartz, and Tarasenko. And eventually they were able to make a change, too.
Now Shattenkirk. Fire in. 3 minutes left in the second. Tyson Strachan. Moves along for Delorier. They get it by Kevin Shattenkirk. Nicholas Delorier to the corner. Pressured by Gunnarsson. Moved by Porter. Here's a chance. Cody Hodgson. It trickles in on Elliott, who freezes.
Not an easy game for Brian Elliott to play. The University of Wisconsin star standing pretty tall. Jurgensen gets a good chance earlier in the game. Here he is on a breakaway in the first period. Shuts the door. Rips the line into a screen. Matt Moulton there. Nothing doing. How about that one against Torrey Mitchell? No rebound for Brian Flynn. So a nice job by Brian Elliott standing tall in goal.
That special mask that he's wearing tonight, presented by Charles Rohde, 92-year-old veteran, Normandy. That happened yesterday in the Blues locker room, and Charles was part of a wonderful ceremony prior to tonight's game. And Brian's wife is a veteran.
Yes.
4-year stint in the Air Force. Now Steve Ott moving up. Moved across. Pietrangelo off the blocker of Neubert.
Oh, man.
And it stays in play.
That was a headhunter, as my friend Doc Everett wants to say.
Wow. Jackman broken up. Ristolainen. Now Stewart. Girgensons over the line. Zemgus Girgensons will move it ahead. Jackman lurking for St. Louis. Girgensons holding onto it, giving a shove. He's strong. He'll turn it deep. Stewart. Backus defending him. Chris Stewart out in front. A loose puck. Good job by the Blues defensively, and out they go. Berglund scales it wide of Neubert. He'll move it himself. 1:45 left in the period. Patrick Berglund. Pajärvi on Weber. They collide. Backus in support. Now Magnus Pajärvi will circle. Looking in the slot to the outside. Here's Shattenkirk. Pajärvi a one-timer denied by Neubert. The rebound out in front. Going down was Lindstrom, no call. Now it's played here. Berglund shot, great save, Neubert. Here's Shattenkirk. The Blues apply more pressure. Lindstrom blocked. Girgensons had the block. Out of the corner. Joakim Lindstrom holding onto it. One-timer, Bouwmeester tip. Neubert said no. It's loose. And the Sabres desperately get it out. Wow.
And they can't change. So you wonder if Teddy Nolan won't call his timeout. I mean, it's just fire it up. And Michael Neubert's been really strong in this game, John. Any chance Buffalo has at all to win this game or come back, and it's because of that man. He's been outstanding.
St. Louis up to 20 shots, but many have been quality chances. Off the faceoff. Girgensons, Molson. Here's Stewart. Two defenders back. Gunnarsson, Pietrangelo. 49 seconds as we see left to go in the second period. Carl Gunnarsson moves it along. Sabres go D to D through the middle of the ice. Picked off. Gunnarsson, lead feed. Schwartz. Here they come. The big three. Gunnarsson inside for Schwartz. Laterra along the boards is tied up by Tyson Strachan. It pops out, and the Sabres will survive. Advanced out by Mitchell for Brian Flynn. They'll saddle it down deep. Gunnarsson looks around. Ristolainen moving up on the forecheck, and now it's played here by Jaden Schwartz for Jori Laterra. Laterra over the line with Tarasenko and Pietrangelo. It's tipped wide by Flynn. 6 seconds left in the period. Out of the corner, kicks around Gionta off the glass. He'll get it out, and that'll do it. 2 goals, same guy. There he is. Jori Laterra with a hat trick. And the Blues have a 3-0 lead over Ted Nolan and the Buffalo Sabres. Stay tuned for the Discover Card intermission report with Catherine Tappan, Keith Jones, Jeremy Roenick. Hats off to Laterra. And we'll also take a look tonight at Connor McDavid, great prospect, injuring his hand in junior hockey. That comes your way next. Shots are even, but the play has been done, especially in the second period. The line of Tarasenko, Schwartz, and Jori Laterra putting on a show. St. Louis 3, Buffalo, no score. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by the Discover It card. It's a game changer. Nice look at the exterior and a very important statue outside Scottrade Center. Why? Head and Shoulders flashback, game number 699 final. Brett Hull in the blue or not, Pierre?
In the crease.
Of course. Of course. But Dallas wins it. Brett Hull with the St. Louis Blues organization. Ken Hitchcock and back to the bench, the coach of the Dallas Stars. As you see, the great St. Louis forward and the mastermind behind those Dallas teams that year in and year out, Mike Modano, the whole troop, they were outstanding.
Johnny, can you explain to the viewers at home that the on-air people do not pick the replays?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Done. Jori Laterra
who's been the subject of many replays tonight with a shot swallowed here by Michael Neubert. John Forsland, Pierre Maguire inside the glass. We start the third period here in St. Louis, and we have watched this line of the St. Louis Blues all night long.
Well, J.R. Keefe and Catherine were talking about it, but it's all kinds of skill. It's Tarasenko with the quick release. It's Tarasenko playing give and go with Jaden Schwartz. Good board play and excellent support. And then Jaden Schwartz, it's just his whoop-de-doo. Tyler Myers over to Laterra, the natural hat trick. And we got a full-on brawl as we were away.
Yes, and Alex Steen, who was part of the earlier altercation, was only given a 5-minute major. There was no second altercation on that one.
And you know why that
back
is?
in.
That one was because he went after a smaller guy in Tyler Ennis.
Right.
That's what that one was about.
So it's Cody McCormick policing that for Buffalo against Alex Steen. Rasmus Ristolainen with Paul Stastny. And more work for Gord Dwyer and Mike Lego, our referees tonight, to legislate all this.
And rivalry night's supposed to be tomorrow. Yep. Little line change, everybody going back. And you see McCormick went right after Marcus Foligno. They knew that's all a carryover from what happened with Steen and Ennis.
Right.
That's all that was, and I'm sure somebody was whispering sweet nothings in the Sabres' ears. You're down 3-0. Ennis is one of our better players. He's our smallest guy. Somebody better do something. And John, you talk about the blueprint for rebuilding a team. Part of it is making sure you have enough grit and you have guys that care about one another.
And that would be your foundation. That's what Ted Nolan is trying to extract out of his team. He's utilized a lot of different methods for that already this year. There have been the old punishment skates. There have been some harsh words at times. And there's been a lot of support, too. And that's how they're going to accomplish what they need to do. So the combatants here, Gunnarsson and Steen, McCormick and Stewart on the Buffalo side. And here's where it all started.
And this is the carryover, and this is what they didn't like on the Buffalo side of things. And so it carries over. Again, Ennis, one of their more skilled players and not an overly large guy. And he was a ferocious junior player in Medicine Hat, boy, Johnny. You should have seen him. I mean, not an overly large guy, but every night he showed up in a real tough West Wing, and this is what happened in the start of the third.
So I believe they have it sorted out when we get the announcement. We will try and pass everything along to you again. In terms of on ice right now, just a quick scan, and it looks like it'll be 5-a-side. Gunnarsson and Steen for St. Louis. Chris Stewart, Cody McCormick for Buffalo.
On the St. Louis bench, you're asking Gord Dwyer, how's that not an instigator?
And they've taken a man off for the Blues, so it is a power play. It's a power play here for the Buffalo Sabres. I'll start off the draw. Drew Stafford and Steve Ott, two former teammates. Do it again. Off the draw, Tyler Myers in control. Along the wall now, moving with it is Tyler Ennis. Inside for Matt Molson. Myers this way, Ristolainen off a stick, off Lapierre. It stays in play. Bouwmeester for Steve Ott. Pinching in was Tyler Myers, who gets to it now, plugging the center zone, and they recoil. 40 seconds gone in this third period. A 3-goal lead for the Blues. Here's Tyler Ennis over the line, handing off to Matt Molson. Molson to the outside. The extra penalty for roughing goes to Steen. Everybody else gets 2-minute minors. So extra one to him. It's fought off here by Brian Elliott across. They score! There goes the shutout. It's Tyler Ennis at the side of the goal.
And what a creative play by Matt Molson. He could have got selfish and tried to fool Brian Elliott on the short side, but he doesn't. He passes a puck cross crease to Tyler Ennis, who slams it to the back of the net. It's a good job. Drew Stafford throws it on goal. Elliott can't control the rebound. And there's Matt Molson's creativity. Rather than try to shuffle it short side, he gets it and says, there you go, Tyler. You're a left-hand shot on the right-hand side of the ice. Stick it. And he does. That's just a great play from Matt Molson and a beautiful finish from Tyler Ennis.
5th goal of the season.
And John, now you see why his teammates came to his defense. He's an important guy.
2-goal game now. Buffalo, who has out-hit St. Louis in the game by a 2-1 margin after 2 periods. We'll see if they get back to their work ethic and see where that goal might take them out to center ice. Drew Stafford approaching Barrett Jackman. He'll get it inside. Ian Cole for the Blues. Hit by Delorier. Berglund getting away from Cody Hodgson. Now Hodgson has it roll off his stick. Matt Molson, Drew Stafford get the assist. The goal 59 seconds in. Tyler Ennis is 5th on the power play. Buffalo has scored in the power play on the road for the first time this season and only their 3rd power play goal all year. Stretch pass doesn't work. It's picked off by Carl Gunnarsson, and now Steve Ott coming back.
Carl Gunnarsson was lucky there.
There's a chance. Mitchell off his stick, Pierre.
Wow. Carl Gunnarsson was lucky earlier in that sequence because Mitchell was in behind them all alone. Giunta saw it, and he just couldn't get it past Gunnarsson. But what an opportunity for Torrey Mitchell. Playing loose with the puck, that's too cute. That can't happen. And then Torrey Mitchell just can't handle it. Steve Ott tries to get a little too cute right there. Torrey Mitchell just can't cash.
Girgensons now facing off against Paul Stastny. Molson to the point, Ristolainen. Rasmus Ristolainen now moves it by Kevin Shattenkirk, who hustles back. Played along the boards for Tarasenko. 3-on-2 partially, a lead pass for Chris Porter. He's on his horse. He centers one, nobody home. You see it from all the way back out. It's a breakout for Buffalo. It's Tyler Ennis. He'll dangle. His shot goes wide of Elliott. And it stays in. Out of the corner. David Backes tied up by Girgensons. It's loose for Paul Stastny. Backes, they play catch, and out they come. Porter.
That's beautiful, John. What beautiful hockey.
It was. Shattenkirk just behind Backes. Tough angle. Battle down for Neuvert with help from the side of the goal. The center zone, Bouwmeester, Paul Stastny. He'll step in, off a skate. He's hit hard by Zadorov. Here's Drew Stafford. 1-on-3, Buffalo's changing. It goes deep. Moving in, Tyson Strachan. He's hit by Jay Bouwmeester. Pietrangelo will wait for Stastny, and out they go. You're looking at their captain, David Backes. 1-on-3 because St. Louis is now changing. Strachan is back. Jaden Schwartz is on him. Mike Weber for Buffalo reverses. Spots a man, it's Tyson Strachan. Here they come. Drew Stafford. Little back heat from Tarasenko. Brian Elliott moves it by Stafford to the point. Ristolainen inside for Stafford. Working Bouwmeester. He'll stay with it. He'll grind it to the outside. Here comes Zadorov. Nikita Zadorov pickpocketed by Jaden Schwartz. Little backhander back out to center. Camped out Tarasenko. Myers will get to it.
Jaden Schwartz hockey IQ is insanely strong. Unbelievable.
Myers hands it off to Delorier. Attempts to use Ian Cole as the screen. That didn't work, and now Jori Lehtera. With all 3 St. Louis goals tonight. Ian Cole being center. He'll wrap it in behind Neuvert. Myers. This way for Zadorov. On the wall, Flynn. Given a shove that time by Payarvi. It comes out in the center zone. Picked off by LaPierre. He turned it over to Zadorov. Buffalo will start over. Ristolainen away now for Nikita Zadorov. A tough pass there. Almost picked off by LaPierre. LaPierre moves up. Flynn cut across on him. Now Giunta. Brian Giunta. Barrett Jackman throws up the roadblock. He'll get to it. Attempt to move it. Back of the goal. 2 men in for Buffalo. Strachan. Inside it goes off LaPierre by Jackman. Wrap chance, Giunta. Rolled away from him, and now Ian Cole off the boards all the way back. Ristolainen coming back here for Buffalo. Magnus Payarvi is on him. He'll swing all the way back out. Goes by Flynn. Shattenkirk picked off by Tyson Strachan. Here he comes. To the outside, a drop pass. Girgensons cutting. Shooting one. Elliott possibly got a piece of it now. They work down the wall. Goes by Molson to the point. Girgensons in the screen. And we get a stoppage.
Well, thoroughbred hockey for both teams right now. The pace opening up, but man, oh man, is St. Louis strong coming out of their own zone. Some really good puck movement by the St. Louis Blues players.
This is against services centered outside section 119 to claim your prize.
14:55 left to go in this third period.
And this is what we were talking about, John. Beautiful hockey, just quick give-and-go hockey. Stastny to Porter, engage the defense, get it in deep. That's a beautiful job of breaking out of your own zone.
3 8 to 10-foot passes. That's all it takes. Now it's work ahead, but that's easier said than done. It's cleared in. Down deep, Jurgensen's given a rough ride by David Backes. It's loose. Neuvert holding the short side on Steen, and he pays a price.
I think Weber's getting a penalty. I don't know if Steen is. Neuvert's down. Tyler Myers is wrapped up with, I think, David Backes. Yeah. Neuvert looks like he's moving. I think Steen's getting another penalty. No, he's not. Or maybe he is. I don't know. Weber's definitely getting one.
And it may be the only one.
Yeah. Alex Steen's not really popular with the Buffalo Sabres. It's a good hard forecheck play, nothing wrong with that. And then Steen goes hard to the net, falls up on his rebound, and Weber kind of pirouettes him around. So you see Mike Lego right there saying, "You're gone," to Weber.
A roughing call on Mike Weber at 5:20. Arrest for Alex Steen.
Pretty good acquisition, huh? For St. Louis, you think about Poliakovo and Steen for Lee Stempniak.
Great trade. Shattenkirk moving across now for Pietrangelo. Now set it up. Schwartz in the high slot. Laterra down deep. Tarasenko this way. A punch off the blocker of Neuvert. Now Schwartz losing control to Myers. Not out though. Alex Pietrangelo. He'll address it. Lay it across for Jaden Schwartz. Shattenkirk on and off his stick. He'll regroup. Vladimir Tarasenko. Give back. Deflected by Zemgus Girgensons. And rolls, as we see, all the way back in the St. Louis zone. Not much time left in the power play. Blues with a 2-goal lead. Swing it across. In the midst of a 5-game homestand. St. Louis has won 7 of their last 8. Here's Tarasenko. Schwartz. Pietrangelo as a newcomer on the power play. He has it. Ian Cole. Now Pietrangelo. Tarasenko. Delay. Shoots one. Stopped by Neuvert. Glove down. That'll be a hand pass. No further play.
Tara's like, I didn't do anything. That was good. Good puck movement. And watch Laterra. The puck's going to go off of Michael Neuvert high. Take his hand, bat it over. I didn't do anything. Great call made by the officials. Face-off comes outside.
59 seconds left in the St. Louis power play. Stastny, Backes, Steen. Bolmeister and Shattenkirk on the points. They cross. Stastny broken up. Zadorov will dump it back. 45 seconds left in the manpower advantage. Here comes Kevin Shattenkirk. In full flight, Alex Steen to the outside of Myers. Heads up! And that was Girgensons coming a long way.
You saw that coming.
Good call. You're like air traffic control down there. Now, Bolmeister.
The one thing I would say, if I were a Buffalo fan, I'd want Girgensons on my team. I think he's going to be a very useful player for a lot of years. He has serious character.
Plays heavy, now comes inside. Centered by Steen. Stastny at his side. Paul Stastny in the corner. Drops it back to Shattenkirk. Jay Bolmeister thinks about it. Here it comes. Blocked in front. Zadorov. Nikita Zadorov, a good play off the wall. Took a hit from Backes and got it out. Now Bolmeister looks around. Even terms on the ice where it counts. St. Louis by 2. Here's Tyson Strachan. Through the middle. Chris Stewart moves up. Pocket picked by Lindstrom, who has it. Joakim Lindstrom moves it back. Handcuffing the D. Elliott out to play it. Move it across now for Ian Cole. Indirect pass for Patrick Berglund. Move it ahead for Steve Ott. Out to the corner.
He hog ties the defenseman.
Just got a
Mr.
penalty
Leinen,
for
and he'll
doing
go. Yep, he'll go for that. So we'll tell you about it when we come back. He's guilty. He tries to take somebody with him. It won't happen. It will be a Buffalo power play when we come back to Scott Trade Center. 12:04 left to go in this third period. Tyler Ennis has put the Sabres on the scoreboard. Ken Hitchcock's team will be down a man. Steve Ott gone for holding, setting up another Buffalo power play. Might be able to get a little life here with Drew Stafford taking this faceoff, opposed by David Backes. 59 seconds into this period, Tyler Ennis
Stafford's getting tossed out.
was able to score on a power play. And as you say, he now will backpedal. He's wondering why, but it doesn't matter. Matt Molson now will face off. He wins it cleanly. Tyler Myers, wristing one, caught by Elliott. Will drop it off for Bouwmeester, and they kill time early. See the power play numbers for the Sabres tonight. Rasmus Ristolainen, full flight for Tyler Ennis. Peppered by LaPierre, he throws it in. Bouwmeester, Molson's on him. Paul Stastny for the Blues. Jay Bouwmeester to the point. Ristolainen, skate to stick. Centered by Molson, frozen by Brian Elliott.
Rasmus Ristolainen's from the seaside town of Turku in Finland. Saku Koivu, Mikko Koivu, two guys that come from there that played in the NHL. One of them still plays, Mikko, in Minnesota. Ristolainen had the golden goal last year, John, in the World Junior when Finland beat Sweden in Malmö, Sweden. The game-winning goal in overtime in the gold medal game.
Terrific game. Point shot. Now Myers along the boards. Broken up. Sailed out of the zone with 1:22 left on this power play. Ristolainen coming back. First round pick. He'll drop it off for Drew Stafford.
We've got three young Finnish defensemen under 24 years of age. Sami Vatanen, Olli Mata, and Risto Ristolainen.
On the training ground. Jackman out of the corner. Double team. Puck is there for the taking. Molson grinding for Buffalo. Now Barrett Jackman for the Blues. Shattenkirk moves it along the wall. Laterra gets to it. And right out.
That's all communication amongst all four players on the ice. That's a really good job by St. Louis.
Myers. Out to the center zone. Cody Hodgson. Moving by Backes. Sweep check. Zadorov broken up by David Backes. Nikita Zadorov. Brian Giunta to the outside of Bouwmeester. He'll move up. Circle. Keep it to the outside. The net off the pegs. And a heavy collision that time with Alex Pietrangelo going down.
Hodgson's going to get a penalty for interference. That's why Pietrangelo is down. Cody Hodgson, this is an Ontario Hockey League thing too. Cody Hodgson played at Brampton. This is Pietrangelo just getting rammed right into the bar. Watch 19. He just drills Pietrangelo right into the crossbar and the goalpost.
So it's interference on Cody Hodgson.
Not a good penalty,
No.
you would agree?
I agree. And Pietrangelo, as we see, is okay, it appears. Ott's out of the box in 24 seconds. Then we'll set up a St. Louis power play as the Sabres get it out. 10:20 left in this third period. 2-goal game. St. Louis looking for their 10th win of the season. Shattenkirk now from his own end. Shifty move here by Vladimir Tarasenko. Moving up with a shot fought off by Michael Neubert. Wow. Laterra. Tarasenko. Here's Shattenkirk. All the way through, handcuffing Schwartz. They work it out. Brian Giunta. The pack gets back 3 of them, but Girgenson's shot denied by Elliott. He'll cover up. Another disturbance. Brian Giunta of Buffalo. Kevin Shattenkirk getting involved.
They're not going to quit, and that's a good news for Teddy Nolan and the Buffalo Sabres and their fan base. Brian Gionta brought to Buffalo in the offseason to be a leader and a captain. Part of the reason why effort level turns a puck over, but Girgensons is there, and then he's not going to quit on the play, and then Shattenkirk just throws him down, and Gionta's not going to like that, and Girgensons going to jump in and try to help him out.
They made him the captain after his years with the same role in the Montreal Canadiens. Ristolainen. Off a body off Backus. Brian Flynn. Short-handed. Keep it deep in Blues territory. We're looking at Alex Pietrangelo. He'll carry it out. Buffalo getting back. Stacked up across the line. Here's Stastny. He'll stop. Lay it back for Bouwmeester. Pietrangelo will give back. Bouwmeester. Inside it goes off Strachan. Pietrangelo. Jay Bouwmeester stretching out. Snap by Backus for Pietrangelo. No shooting lane. He retreats. Paul Stastny on the half wall. In the slot, negated by Strachan. Knocked down with a high stick.
Ooh.
That was close, Pierre.
Very close. The shoulder's a point that you have to pay attention to. If this stick's not above the shoulder, it's a good play. Let's take a look. Pretty close. Darren Gibbs is a linesman. He's right there. He's got the best view in the house. But it was close, John.
Yep. He's back in the St. Louis zone. Marcus Foligno will take the face-off. That much time left in the power play. Shattenkirk will quarterback. Drop pass for Tarasenko. Met at the line by Drew Stafford. That forced an offside.
Buffalo's penalty kill has been solid. I think you would agree,
Yes,
John. They've done
yes.
a really good job. Part of it's because of the way they played in the neutral zone. And I'm sure some teams are going to watch that. And you see how they back up. They're just backing up and playing a congestion game in the neutral zone. Not giving up easy access to the zone. And Tarasenko, the best puck handler for the Blues, well, they just standing right up in the neutral zone. Drew Stafford in particular.
In the last game, they saw the Pittsburgh Penguins in that power play.
Oh! Yeah, that wasn't good.
No. But this has been a very good effort by Buffalo. And there's still time left. 8:31 left. As Hudson is up and ready. Full strength. Pietrangelo denied by Neuberg. And it trickles back to him. 8:23 left to go in regulation time. St. Louis 3, Buffalo 1. We're back to Scott Trade after this. Watch the NHL on NBC live on your laptop, tablet, or smartphone with NBC Sports Live Extra. Download the app or go to NBC Sports/Live Extra and watch the biggest events anywhere, anytime. 8:20 left, third period play. John Forsland, Pierre Maguire inside the glass. Brian Elliott will slow it down here and get a face-off in his own zone.
Tyler Ennis played for Willie Desjardins, the coach of the Vancouver Canucks when he played for the Medicine Hat Tigers. Willie's team's getting ready to load up with the Ottawa Senators tonight in Vancouver.
They've been a great story.
Vancouver, I think, one of the most improved teams in the league.
Yeah.
Nashville Predators, along with Vancouver, two of the better teams in terms of improvement from last year. Workplace environment matters, John.
Yep, that's right. Ristolainen coming back here, a reverse for Nikita Zadorov. Lindstrom is on him. Ristolainen coming back again. Tyler Ennis in control. Now St. Louis gets back in defensive position as Ennis tries to pitch it ahead. Ian Cole captures that. Lays it off for Berglund. Lindstrom couldn't get to it. Now Buffalo in the process of a change. They had to be careful. Ennis moves it by Backus. And now they will get the change. Tyson Strachan around the wall for Cody McCormick. Backus lurking, and now Steen pushes back for Bouwmeester. He'll feed it in off of support by the goaltender Neuberg, played by Mike Weber. Corralled by Pietrangelo. Turned over to Cody McCormick. A long pass. Here's Chris Stewart. He'll go deep. Bouwmeester holding him up. Marcus Foligno. And it broken up that time by Jay Bomeister. Strachan at the point. Works it for Buffalo. Gets room. His shot. Good stop by Elliott. McCormick knocking it down. Stolen by David Backes. And St. Louis will get it out. Here's Pietrangelo. Moving up. Shot taken, blocked by Tyson Strachan, and it goes out of play.
Fans, check out the video screen for tonight's PNC Bank save of the game.
Tyson Strachan keeps the play alive, walks to the inside part of the ice, and Brian Elliott has to fight that one off. I think, Johnny, the one thing with St. Louis in this game, they've gotten a little sloppy here since they started running around because of all the physical altercations, and that played right into the strength of Buffalo, who wants to play more of a gritty game.
That's right. Usually they get a lead, St. Louis. They get to that team game and it's locked tight, but Buffalo's had their opportunities. Here they come again. Chianta. And it booked away. Now Brian Flynn coming back. Max Lapierre looking at him. 6:27 left to go here in St. Louis. Zadorov knocked out in midair by Kevin Shattenkirk. Brian Flynn turns away from Chris Porter. Nikita Zadorov in the skates of Brian Gianta, pickpocketed by Latera. Tarasenko, it goes high, tipped by Myers.
That release is incredible.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Now Gianta back out. Fights off Tarasenko, steers it ahead. Play comes to a halt. We'll step aside. 5:59 left to go in the third period. Down the stretch in St. Louis.
A 4-1 lead has evaporated.
It was the Leafs paralyzed. Complete stage fright.
We didn't finish the deal the way that we wanted to.
That's tonight, 11 Eastern. NHL rivals that'll whet your appetite for Wednesday night rivalry presented by Coors Light tomorrow night in Toronto. Pierre joined by Doc Emmerich, Eddie Olczyk for the first game, Bruins and Maple Leafs. Second game, Dave Strader, Brian Engblom, Kings and Ducks. A big doubleheader of rivalries tomorrow night right here. 5:50 left in this third period. 3-1 St. Louis. They've been tested tonight by the will of the Buffalo Sabres, and we're going to have a penalty called here.
Delorier's going to get it. He's getting it for going after Tarasenko. Right off the face-off, he was going after him. I think he might have speared him. It started right at the face-off, just in front of the Blues bench. And Nicolas Delorier was going right after Tarasenko. And I think he's getting kicked out for spearing. This is it on the face-off. You can see it carrying forward. Little cross check, nothing there. There's nothing there. The penalty hasn't been called yet. Let's see as we go along. Nothing there. Ian Cole's going to gain. Here we go. There's the spear right there. That's a spear.
Good catch.
Yeah.
So Delorier gets a 5-minute match penalty for spearing. 14-18. And that'll cripple Teddy Nolan and his team's comeback.
I'm sure for Ken Hitchcock, the one thing he'd like to see now, make them pay. You don't want that getting around the league. Well, we can take penalties on Tarasenko, and their power play won't do anything, so now you got to make them pay.
Tarasenko on the bench. Appears to be okay. Mike Weber out to kill it off. Cody McCormick and David Backes on the draw. Shattenkirk in control. Wheeled along for Steen. Out of the reach of Shattenkirk and all the way back.
Cody Hodgson serving the penalty. Cody has not had a good night. That's a subtle message to him from the coach, I have to believe.
Shattenkirk now brings it ahead. Cut off by Weber. They gain entry though. Stastny inside for Alex Steen. The pass for Shattenkirk. Arister blocked by Flynn. Good read that time by Tyler Myers. He'll dump it out. Just about 5 minutes left in this third period. Paul Stastny signed as a free agent during the summer months. Ex of Colorado now. Jay Bomeister to the outside. Crunched by Strachan. Ristolainen gets to it. Young defenseman turns back in his own zone. Floats it all the way out of the reach of Girgensons, and Pietrangelo is on it. Pietrangelo now drops it off for Bouwmeester. As St. Louis will break it out again. Torrey Mitchell, Girgensons up front to kill it off. Ristolainen and Strachan are back. Schwartz at the line. This way, Pietrangelo working down the boards. He'll lay it back for Vladimir Tarasenko. They stretch it out to Bouwmeester. His shot swallowed by Neubert.
And let's act those high glove side. There's no way that's going in from there. It's a left-hand shot from the left-hand side of the ice. And watch Neubert. He reads it. Square. The only way you're going to beat him there is high glove side.
He's played well tonight.
He really has.
Really has.
Artur Zerbe, the goalie coach, has to be real happy with that.
One of the great battlers of all time, that position. Shattenkirk's bit fought off by Neubert. And it's cleared back out to center ice. Steen lays it across. Cody McCormick losing control. Angled off the wall by Zadorov and right back. 4 minutes flat left. That much time on the power play. Lindstrom. Now moving up here. Pajärvi throws on the brakes. Joakim Lindstrom to the outside. Pajärvi to the point. Shattenkirk, Steen, a one-timer caught. Michael Neubert right on the spot.
And he's got to see through traffic there. That's a one-timer from Steen. We watched him practice those this morning, John, so we know he can bring some heat, but Ott does a good job positioning himself right in front of Neubert. It just doesn't move over enough. Good save by Neubert.
He was an up-and-coming prospect.
Really was.
And a steady player for Washington, but this is a real good situation for him now. Stastny inside. Berglund. They trade places. Worked back by Stastny. Steen goes across. Shattenkirk in control. Out of the reach of Paul Stastny. Back it goes again. Here's Steen holding on to it. One-timer. Shattenkirk. They score! A bullet blast, and possibly David Backes out in front. Power play goal, and the Blues pad their lead.
It's really precise puck movement. A good decision by the right-handed shooting Shattenkirk on the one-timer, and the big body of David Backes. He knows, don't hang out on the other side of the net, get to the front of the net, and I think that touches David Backes. Good job by Steen moving the puck. There's the one-timer, and let's see. Oh yeah, I think that touches Backes and goes by the goaltender Neubert.
So it should be the Blues captain, David Backes, with the goal, his 4th of the season.
Still 2:41 left on the power play.
Yep. Match penalty for Spearing on Delorier. 3:22 left. 4-1 St. Louis.
Shattenkirk loads it up, and there just changes direction off of Backes.
Now they send out Laterra, who has 3 goals. Schwartz and Tarasenko, Pietrangelo and Bouwmeester on the points. Molson, along with Ennis, Myers, and Weber for Buffalo. Laterra, Jaden Schwartz. Jay Bouwmeester walks the line this way for Pietrangelo. Working around to Laterra, who has the hat trick. He'll draw it inside. Schwartz, Tarasenko, off a stick off Myers. Bouwmeester goes down with help from Weber as they get it back out to center ice. Tyler Ennis in control. He'll drag it. Shoot one denied by Brian Elliott. Tyler Ennis to the outside. He'll send it all the way back in his own zone. Michael Neubert out to play it. Power play goal at 16:38. David Backes is 4th from Kevin Shattenkirk and Alex Steen. Steen through center. Pajärvi. Steen again. They count the goals as they always do. Lindstrom scores on a change. Joakim Lindstrom. 5-1 St. Louis.
John, you watched this skill play from Lindstrom. From to skate to his stick at full speed. What a pass by Alex Steen, but what a skillful play. He comes off the bench. Here he comes. Watch 10 in blue. Off the skate to the stick, and in one motion hammers it home. That is some kind of skill. Nice when your depth players have skill like that, huh, Johnny?
Yep. He's a well-traveled guy, too. This is his 4th team. He's been back and forth across the pond, and he's a real good support player.
Originally drafted by Columbus.
2:09 left in this 3rd period. More power play time. And Shattenkirk now will clear it hard around. To the point. Shattenkirk. Steen. They play catch. Alex Steen. Guarded by McCormick. This is Pajärvi. Magnus Pajärvi skate to stick. Steen. Blocked. Inside though. He sets up Lindstrom, who gives it back. Steen around the clock. They go again. Shattenkirk. Alex Steen will cradle inside the line. The puck is on edge. They settle it down. Shattenkirk snaps along. Pajärvi darts, shoots one high. Around the board, Steen now in control. 1:27 left. One-timer. Scores! Lindstrom!
With a great screen from Steve Ott. Shattenkirk and Steen do a great job controlling the flow of the puck. And then the one-timer for Lindstrom. Get it, tee it, rip it, net.
All the way through. Second goal tonight, Joakim Lindstrom. 6-1 Blues. Back through center ice by Pietrangelo. St. Louis will go to 10-4-1, 6-3 here at home. And this will be victory number 8 in their last 9.
It'll get a little tougher for them in their next game, playing against Nashville here. We beat them on Saturday 2-1.
And on the same night, Buffalo will be in Minnesota.
Hope they brought their mittens.
Whistled wide by Backus.
A lot of snow there.
Yes. Hockey weather. Now Stafford with Ennis. With a shot off the blocker, Brian Elliott. Pietrangelo shaken up
He's
here.
got a skate issue, I think.
Now Bouwmeester through the middle. Backus over the line. Torrey Mitchell back out. 20 seconds left. Here's Hodgson. His shot goes wide. St. Louis meeting the preseason expectations as an elite team. As they're looking for the top spot in their division, pending what Nashville does. They came in 1 point behind. They have been dominant here. They ride it out. They defeat the Buffalo Sabres 6-1. Final count. St. Louis 6, Buffalo 1. In a moment, Pierre Maguire will have an interview with one of the stars of tonight's game, Jayden Schwartz. Let's first check in with Catherine Tappan, NHL Overtime.